Welcome back for another Bible review. Today I'm looking at the newly released New American Standard from Zondervan in the 2020 text update. They updated the 1995 New American Standard last year. Lockman was the first one to come out, obviously, with the print copies of it, and Zondervan has just released their first run of that update. And they come in the Thinline and the large print Thinline. So those are the first two coming out from Zondervan. This one is the black. I'm not sure what, they just say black on the cover, but it does have a design on it. Single piece clamshell box. Very nice, very typical of Zondervan. They have good boxes. They are very busy, but they have all the information on them. So you can look at this. If you want to pause that, you can see all of that. But I will just get into it here. So this is the leather soft in black. There is this design on the front. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There's obviously a cross in there, so I kind of see it as a flat plane with a cross reflected, but I'm not sure exactly what the design is modeled after. You have that with orange and white, and then you have white perimeter stitching. As you can see, the cover is kind of glossy. It's really thick, kind of a typical run-of-the-mill imitation leather. Your ISBN on the back. The spine, let's see if I can show it here. It's in just a indented, no embossing. You have 4 tooled lines, and then the New American Standard Bible, Holy Bible, NASB, and Zondervan. And in this light, it's really hard to see, but in truth, it's actually really hard to see in person, even in the best light. These indentions are so deep that it's actually kind of hard to see. But they will not go away. They're in there forever, as long as this Bible lasts. You have 2 double-sided satin ribbons. They're small, but they are well done. These ones are actually, I was surprised to see, they're really sharp with the silver page gilding. And then you have your black head and tail bands here. Getting into the interior, you just have a paste down liner. This is nothing expensive. I think this retails for $32.99. Obviously, you'll be able to get it much cheaper at secondhand retailers. So this is just the basic Thinline Bible. And for dimensions, you have, I believe it is 5 1/4 inches wide and 8.5 inches tall, if my measurements are correct. Just have a presentation page in the front. Then you get right into the Bible itself. These are pretty wrinkly, but it's just where the glue was placed in the production process. Here's your title page. You have 2020 text. This was printed this year, 2021. Printed in China. This is also, here you got your table of contents, and then you get right into your chronological books of the Bible, forward preface. And if you're not familiar with the 2020, this explains all of the updates that they did to it. Explanation, format, abbreviations, and then Old Testament. Pretty basic, but that is a good thing for a lot of situations. So this is the New American Standard comfort print setting for the Zondervan. They're designed by 2K Denmark in the Netherlands, so they're a very high quality design process for these type settings. It is a 9-point font, verse by verse. Pretty simple design, 2-paragraph. You have your textual footnotes at the bottom of the page on the right. So you'll have them there, both sides of the page on the right hand side of the page. And then your book introductions are just a line with the book on there. And I've noticed that in the different versions of the NASB from Zondervan, the typesetting looks a little different, even though I know they have one for the New American Standard. They have a different one for each version, but the different editions seem to look different to me. This one looks very similar to the Buffalo edition that I have, but different than the single column. So I'm not sure if they have a slightly different font for those or not. Someone can correct me if I am missing something there. So your basic setting is very similar to the ESV thin lines, except for the verse by verse, which I do really appreciate in this. And for me, it proves that a verse by verse can be done in this format with the same dimensions. So that is a big plus for me with this edition being on the cheaper end. And it is line matched. You'll see it is red letter. Red letters so far have looked really good. There's not much variation. Pretty consistent throughout. Some versions do have some play in some will be darker, some will be lighter. You still have black verse numbers for the red words of Christ, so that helps stick out. Really helps to find the verses on that with the verse by verse setting. In the end, we do have a couple things, and this is also in some of most of the other Bibles from Zondervan, I believe. So you have miracles of Jesus, parables, perspectives from the Bible on different subjects, prayers, promises from the Bible, and then you end with a couple plain sheets and then your note on the text explaining that it is from 2K Denmark and the reason behind the specific setting. Then your closing page. So overall, just a really basic thin line Bible that will be good for an introduction if you have not used the 2020 text. I personally will probably stay with the 95, mainly because that's what I've grown up with in reference to a New American Standard Version Bible. But I know a lot of people are excited about the 2020. This is the first run of Zondervan's editions, so if you are a big Zondervan supporter and like their Bibles, this is definitely one to go with. I did receive this one for an honest review, and I hope that's what I've done the best here. There's really nothing I can complain about. I mean, obviously it's a cheaper edition, so there's going to be things that you're going to miss from your more high-end Bibles, but other than that, I think they did a really great job with this one, and definitely looking forward to what else they have coming out. So you can get this in the regular thin line, or you can get the large print, which is the 10.5 font. So this is a 9. So those are the differences on the sizes. But other than that, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll be coming out with another review here soon. Thanks for watching.